Okay, when I'm done, I'll click on this. That okay, okay, okay. It's fine. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Is it fit to screen or fit with? I'm trying to make everything possible. Yeah, I'm on Figma. Sorry, babe, just give me like 30 minutes of it. Like the guy has started talking. I'm coming, sorry, don't get angry. Please, 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 please. Huh? Yeah, I've started recording. Okay. Okay, I think we are good to go. Huh? Okay, it's fine. Sorry, babe, just give me like 30 minutes. I'll be done. Like the guy has started talking. I'm coming. Sorry, don't get angry. Please, 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 please. Sorry, babe, just give me like 30 minutes. I'll be done. Like the guy has started talking. I'm coming. Sorry, don't get angry. Please, 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 please. Okay. Good evening, guys. Hope you guys can hear me clearly, right? If you can hear me clearly, unmute yourself and speak up. Hello. Can you hear me? Okay, okay, okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I think we need to wait for the race for like 5 minutes. We'll be starting like 8:05. We just need to wait for like 3 more minutes. Let's see for the others to join. Okay, I think we should be starting. We don't need to wait for anyone since we announced that the class is going to be by 8 p.m. So thank you guys for joining. Um, thank you guys for joining the class today. I'm Abdullahi Sweden. I'm going to be taking you guys on information architecture and wireframing. So, we're going to discuss on information architecture. Information architecture, the field of information architecture, is concerned with how information is arranged in a digital product. When we talk about information architecture, it's just like it's the structuring and organization of an information. Like for example, when you click on Jumia website now, like on the website on the homepage, you will see the homepage, about us, product, like services, a lot of things. From there, when you click on the homepage, it will take you to another step, like the steps, the categories, like how the information are arranged and well arranged. From by the right hand side of my screen, you can see how the information are arranged, like the dashboard. When you click on the dashboard, it's going to link you. Oh, sorry, someone said I'm not sharing my screen, right? Can you all see my screen, please? If you can't see, please stop. Oh, okay, sorry. I'm trying. Let me share my screen. Just give me a moment. Okay, can you all see my screen now? Can you all see my screen now? Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. Sorry, guys, for the inconvenience. Okay, let me come again. My name is Abdullah Sweden. I'll be taking you guys on the on this course, which is information architecture and wireframe. In case I'm too fast and you guys don't understand anything, you can type in on the comment section, or you can unmute yourself and speak up. First of all, we're going to talk about information architecture. What's an information architecture? Like the feed of an information architecture is concerned with how information is arranged in a digital product. It's just like it's the structuring and organization of an information, like how a website is being arranged. For example, when you go on Jumia website, let's assume you want to purchase a product, like how to get a shoe from Jumia website. You can't just go to the place and just start. Let's assume if the UX designers didn't design without information architecture, everything will just be scattered and unwell organized. So with the help of information architecture, it's just like the organization of everything. Okay, from the dashboard, it will lead me up to the career page, from the career page to the privacy page. Then when I click on the dashboard, I'm gonna see the services one, services two, and about us page, contact us page. It's just like the arrangement of everything, like the steps in which the website is gonna follow. So for instance, designer layout each screen of an app and website so that the user may quickly discover the information it requires. Additionally, they produce a flow that makes switches between screen easily for consumers. Like they help in constructing flows that makes the screen so easy for the consumers that comes to the app or the website. You can't just come to an app, like a lot of people won't enjoy using an app that does not has information architecture. You understand? So the people responsible for making up an information architecture are called UX architect. And for a UX designer also is responsible for the information architecture. Information architecture is the art of organizing of information on a website, mobile or web application. Information architecture does not only works on a website, it also works on a mobile. As far as you are designing, you need information architecture. It helps you, like it shows you the process and everything you need to follow to the final product of your application. So what is what information architect do? Like the people responsible, what they do? Information architect spends their time structuring content so it's easy for users to find what they are looking for. Yeah, I just spoke about that. The more content a product has, the more significant the role of an information architecture in the UX processes. And information architecture is responsible for how a user will navigate through the web product and reach the relevant information. Like without an information architecture, a lot of things a lot of things on the website will be so scattered. Maybe you can enter a website now, you click on this page, it will take you to the other page, you click on this page, it will take you to the wrong page. But with the help of information architecture, everything is well organized in a structural way that you won't get confused when you click on a website. Okay, I click on this shoe section, I saw this shoe section, I click on this from the shoe section, maybe it will lead me to making my payment or choosing the color of shoe I want. From there, I can make my payment. From there, payment successful or payment decline. So that is the final steps in that. So we move on to the what's the difference between AI and IA and UX. The difference between information architecture and user experience. It's crucial to keep in mind that user UX design is in order to comprehend how two differs from one another. Like when you talk about user experience from the last class you guys held, user experience is just like the feeling, how you feel things, how you feel about a product, how you think. Maybe I can enter a website now, an application, I'm finding this so hard, like so difficult to navigate. For example, I'm going to give an example now. Like the user experience of standard chartered app is so bad. Like maybe a lot of you guys have has the apps on your phone, and when you click on it, like for example, if I'm trying to send money to someone on standard chartered app, it's so difficult compared to other banks. Like the processes is so tiring. That means entirely the app has a very bad UX, and that is not advisable. US encompasses more than just of the organization of the content. It also considers usefulness, usability, and enjoyment of using the system. So when you talk about usability and enjoyment, so that is how you feel when you are enjoying the product. Like you feel so bad, I feel comfortable, I feel you are unhappy about how this tax has been done. At the same time, without a strong information architecture base, it's incredibly difficult to produce a positive user experience because of this. A good user experience UX designer should also be skilled information architect. So the work of a UX designer is also information architect. Like a good UX designer should also know more about information architecture, like how the project is going to be arranged. If I navigate from the home screen, I'll go to this page. From this page, I'll go to the so page. If I click on the product I want to get, it will take me to this page. Offer the product, choose the product, then final making payment. So that is all about that on information architecture. So we are now moving to wireframe. A wireframe is a visual representation of a user interface design, typically used to demonstrate the structure and the layout of a website or software application. It's usually a basic black and white illustration without color and detailed visual design element that serves as a blueprint for the development of a user experience. A wireframe is just like the ideas, like have getting my pen now, the crazy ideas I have on my head, I'm just sketching it down. Let's assume a stakeholder met you that okay, help me design an bank application that has these features. First of all, you can't just open your Figma and start designing. That is not advisable. First of all, you need to sit down, think, okay, these are the features that I need in the bank app. Okay, the bank app should has the transfer section, the dashboard, the transfer history. So you need to sketch it down on a pen with a biro and paper, and you sketch it down. This is what I want. This is what I want. This is what I want on the page. So after that, you give it to you handed it over to the stakeholder, brainstorm about it. So maybe the stakeholder can tell you to take off some things from it. So and basically it's usually black and white. Everything is black and white illustration without colors. The purpose of a wireframe is to communicate the functionality and content of a design and provide a guide for further design and development works. Wireframe can be drawn by hand or created digitally depending on how much detail is required. Yeah, wireframe can be you can do it on a lot of apps such as Sketch, Adobe XD, Figma, or you can also use your biro and paper. Then if you use a background paper, you can snap it, move it to a Figma, start using the information you have there, and creating the final product. Wireframe is a practice most commonly used by UX designers. The process allowed all stakeholders to agree on whether the information will be placed before the developers build the interface out with code. Like what I said earlier, the process allow all stakeholders, the stakeholders which are the people responsible for the project, to agree on the information will be placed before the developers build the interface with the code. Like maybe I put the hamburger button in the app by the right, in which the stakeholders say no, this should be brought to the left. Like there are a lot of changes that will be made before the final project is being commenced. Yeah, the purpose of wireframing. There are a lot of purpose of wireframing. The purpose of wireframing is to provide a visual representation of a website or application structure and layout, typically focus on basic design elements such as placement of content and functionalities, rather than visual design and styles. Wireframes helps to communicate and test design concept and ideas, identify potential issues and limitation, and ensure that a user need and goal are met at the final decision. You can't just do wireframe without meeting the user goals or in the final design. Let's assume a user has says is feeling so bad like transferring money from this app to the other app. So as a UX designer, you need to sit down, think, brainstorm about the process. Okay, how will I make this thing so easy for this person so he won't feel so bad when using our application next time? That is when wireframe come in. You can just sketch out some crazy ideas on your paper. Okay, this is what I want, this is what I want, this is what I want, what I don't want. Okay, if the user do this, you will come back to this. If the user do this, you come back. Like some crazy ideas you have on your head, you just put them down on papers. What are the type of wireframe? We have three types of wireframe: paper sketch, low fidelity, high fidelity. Paper sketching. From the name paper sketching, we all have an idea, even though we don't have the full 100% idea of what it's going to be. We all have a simple idea. Okay, since it deals with paper, and pen is also involved. A paper wireframe is a sketch or illustration that shows the basic structure of an app or website. As the name implies, it's frequently used to quick simulate and test on a paper or a whiteboard with a pencil or a pen to depict how the final digital product might look. Designers translate their concept into a piece of paper. The designers can then use a sketch on a piece of paper to explain the concept to developers, managers, and other pertinent stakeholders. Like after sketching the crazy ideas you have on your paper, then you present it to the developers and the managers concerned in the project. From there, they will decide, okay, why did you do this? Why did you do this? This is the advantage of this is the disadvantage of this. You explain to them how you come up with this, how you come up with this, like the email section, the like when you're designing a login screen now, you know it needs to have the email, the password, the sign up button, the forget password, and a lot of stuff. So you need to sketch it out on the paper. Okay, this is how it's gonna look before the final product. So we move next to low fidelity. Low fidelity wireframe is just it's colorless. Yeah, let me say it's colorless. It does not have color, and it also consists of shapes, and colorless. Yeah, low fidelity wireframe is a basic simplified representation of a website or application user interface created as part of the design process. It typically consists of simple shapes, lines, and placeholders to represent the layout and functional elements of the design, such as text box, image, button without additional colors, typography, or other detailed design element. The purpose of a low-fidelity wireframe is quickly and easily communicate design ideas, test basic functionalities and content placement, and get early feedback from stakeholders. The low fidelity is not the final step in the wireframe. Like you're just trying to give like a reasonable idea on how the product is going to be with the use of shapes, and lines. It's gonna everything is gonna be colorless. Like the image below here, the cycle. Maybe this cycle might be an image, a text here. Okay, this is gonna be an image about the project and information about the project here. So we move into high fidelity. A high fidelity wireframe is like the final structure, the final design you do with different colors in the design. A high fidelity wireframe is a detailed representation of a website or application user interface created as part of the design process, unlike low fidelity wireframe. High fidelity wireframe typically includes more detailed design elements such as typography, colors, imageries, and branding, as well as closure representation of the final product intended look and feel. The purpose of a high-fidelity wireframe is to provide more accurate representation of the end product, allowing for more true testing and feedback and a better communication design ideas to developers and stakeholders. Okay, when you are done with your low fidelity, that is when you convert everything to high fidelity. That is when you put the colors, the text, the image, everything is going to come out. Like the stakeholders, this is the color we're going to use in the project. So you use the color, the text, everything. You fix it according. It must be. Let me say it now. It must not be the same with what you did in the wireframe. There might be a little changes from what the stakeholders say this should be removed and this should be added. Like a little bit changes from a low fidelity. The low fidelity is all based on line, shapes, and low colors. While the high fidelity has to do with the colors, shapes, and that is where you bring out everything about the project. Yeah, we have different tools. There are many tools available for creating wireframe. We have different tools in creating wireframes, offline, both offline and offline, both online and offline. The offline is when you're using your pen and your biro and pen, which is the offline, ranging from simple paper and pen sketches to complex digital tools. Some of the most popular wireframe tools include Sketch, Figma, Adobe XD, and Vision. Like the Figma, we're all gonna do with the Figma because we are using Figma for the project. The practical class is gonna be next week Monday, which will be designing the wireframe, the low fidelity, the high fidelity of app. Most people use Sketch when they are trying to design a wireframe. Some people feel comfortable using Adobe XD in version. You can just go for anyone, but and also you can also use your pen and biro, like or your pen and your paper and pen. Design it on your paper, then you take a picture of it, transfer it to your Figma or any of the software you're going to use. From there, you can now create your own screens, the low fidelity, the high fidelity. Uh, Here are the resources. I'm going to share these resources with you guys on the Slack channel so you guys can check it out. The wireframe, you can get a lot of kits like the image, the shapes, and other things you need in the project. So, thank you very much, guys. This brought us to the end of the class. And the next class is going to be on Monday, same time, 8 p.m. West African time, which is going to be our practical section on wireframe, high fidelity, low fidelity. Okay, all I want you guys to do now is just like think of a crazy idea. We're going to build an app that day. Think of a crazy idea like fit you maybe a financial app, a health app, or a school app, a reading app, any app or e-commerce logistic, any app that just you have the crazy idea of it. We're all gonna build it that day. You just need to think about it before that day, because there will be an exercise after the class on Monday. Each user is gonna create the wireframe, low fidelity um and high fidelity of the niche you choose. So that brought us to the end of the class. I go by the name Abdullah Sweden. Thank you very much everyone for joining. Please, in case you have question, please you can unmute yourself and ask.